ดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ Good evening. Welcome once again to our special edition of Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Rung Tip Chonapalai.
And I'm Supajon Quinsawan, bringing you the latest updates of Thailand's worst flood in the last 50 years. And just minutes ago, Dr. Rung Tip, a dike at Klong Samwa Canal, which is in the eastern part of Bangkok, have just been destroyed by some locals up north of the dikes as they were, suffering from the water that have not been drained out. So they just came in and destroyed that. There is a possibility that the districts of Sai Mai, La Prao, and Hoi Kwang may be affected if they cannot fix this part within a matter of hours.
And many of you may be wondering if we're going to have a holidays or not. The answer is no. Because of the government is saying that there's no need to extend 5-day holiday, which is ending tomorrow.
Right.
But it's asking the employers in both the private and public sector to be lenient with flood victims who need to readjust their living situation.
Meanwhile, the death toll of the latest flood situation has risen to 381, and several new areas in the north have been flooded today.
Bangkok Governor Sukhumpan Boripat is urging residents who live along the northern districts of Laksi, Chatuchak, La Prao, Bangkhen to prepare to evacuate. The water from neighboring Pathum Thani is expected to cause the canals to overflow.
Bangkok Governor is urging the Flood Relief Operations Center to build a dike to block the water from Rangsit Canal from spilling over onto Vipawadi Rangsit Road, the dike along Chao Phraya River.
Those who are living in the sub-districts of Taling Chan in the west of Bangkok should also prepare to leave because of water flowing from Tawi Wattana. Also in the north, Jang Wattana Road is flooded and the water level is rising behind Thurakit Bandit University on Pracha Chön Road.
However, water from the Bang Bua Canal is breaching at Kasetsat Sat University, while Ram Intra Road has 40 centimeters of water. Water pressure caused the dike by the Phrakanong Canal to leak in several areas, including Sukhumvit Soi 50, which is right near the BTS Onut station.
There are now 9 disaster zones in Nakhon Pathom, which is the north of Bangkok. More than 5,000 households have been affected with water flowing up to 50 centimeters. But remind you, those of you who live in Bangkok, which is still dry, and many of people ask me if the business is still running properly.
Right.
Yet it is, because the SCT, the Stock Exchange of Thailand, will be open as well as the banks.
Exactly. However, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra is confident that Bangkok will not be underwater. However, she is saying that there is still a chance of widespread flooding in the capital. Speaking from the Flood Relief Operations Center's new headquarters, PM Yingluck Shinawatra says the flooding situation in Bangkok should be stable after tomorrow, as sea levels will not be any higher. So let's hear what she has to say.
I can't say that because it depends on the level of the sea, and sometimes like the stability of the way that we put the sandbag. So hopefully that the sandbag is quite strong enough. So if the sandbag is not flow over, so it should be okay.
The Premier remains optimistic about the flood situation despite the fact that many districts, including some in downtown Bangkok, have become inundated during the weekend. Coordination with the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration remains the FROC's key strategy in fighting
Bangkok
with the floods.
It's different system from the government. That will be another system that handled by governor. Bangkok governor, so we have to work closely and try to work with the best efforts to less flooding in Bangkok. So hopefully we will try our best. But please do confident in Bangkok, because it's just only the flow over of the water. It doesn't make any damage. So we will recover soon. Thank you.
However, she did not elaborate what she meant about the overflow not causing damage. This flood has damaged several industrial sites and submerged around 10.1 million rai of farmland. Now, about 10 million rai of farmland, Dr. Runtip, how much is that in acres or hectares?
Acres, hectares. Oh, 10 million rai would be around 4 million acres, or about 1.6 million acres.
Right. So
that's really big.
Yeah, that's about the size of Kuwait.
Or Swaziland.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right,
okay, coming up next is in the meeting with the Police General FROC has come up with the water drainage plan. They aim at 3 areas in the east, west, and the areas by the Chao Phraya River. We should also mention that the high tide came this morning at 8:07 a.m. and is expected tomorrow at 8:54 a.m. The Ministry of Energy is asking FROC to become a recuperation center. FROC has denied any failures and maintains that it has done its best in the crisis.
Meanwhile, FROC's old headquarters at Don Mueang Airport is in bad shape with the water level rising. There are still 600 people living in tents with no electricity. We have tried to reach out to the new spokesman of FROC, Ajahn Thong Thong Jantarang Su, but we have not heard back from his office just yet.
And many of you may be wondering how Suvarnabhumi Airport is doing, but it's flood-free area now. So we send our reporter Kun Nanini Railaiyat to have a look at Suvarnabhumi Airport. Let's see what she has to say.
The end of the year is usually a popular time for foreigners to visit Thailand. But this year, the Association of Thai Travel Agents say the floods are affecting the number of tourists coming into the kingdom. For example, 70% of group tours from China have been cancelled for November. The Chinese government has been warning its citizens not to travel to Thailand because of the floods. Many tourists have misunderstood media reports and believe that Don Mueang and Suvarnabhumi International have been closed, though no flights are leaving Don Mueang until Tuesday. I am at the Suvarnabhumi airport. There is a rumor spread among foreigners or even Thais that the airport has been closed because of flooding. But as you see, it's still operating normally. Besides, commercial airlines, including low-cost airlines, expanded their flights to serve people who want to fly out of Bangkok for the long holiday announced by the government. Well, I will return to my hometown as well, so let's check in at the counter. The AOT has insisted that inbound and outbound flights are normal at Suvarnabhumi. They say the flood walls are 3 meters high and go for 23.5 kilometers around the airport. Passengers of Nok Air and Orient Thai Airlines, which moved its operations from Don Mueang, carrying about 130,000 passengers on 850 flights a day. Thus a 20 to 30,000 increase in passengers. There have been no disruptions to other airlines. Amnantini Railaiyat reporting for Thai PBS.
That is to reassure that the Suvarnabhumi Airport is still running properly. So coming here live with us is we would like to invite His Excellency Asif Ahmad, the British Ambassador, and he would come and talk not just to the Thai but especially to explain expats as well.
Sawasdee krap.
Sawasdee krap. Welcome to Thai PBS.
Of course. Okay, so you are also one of the ambassadors who attended the Foreign Ministry's meeting last Friday, and you were accompanied by the Deputy Prime Minister at that time and the head of the FROC, Police General Pracha Promnok. After that meeting, are you now more confident in the Thai government?
The situation that Thailand faces is exceptional. Right. And any government would have a huge challenge in managing what is now affecting great parts of this country. I think we have seen is that the response has improved as each day has gone by. A better needs assessment has been made, a more frank risk analysis is there, and people are increasingly being told the best case and the worst case scenario.
Right.
And once you have that, you can prepare, as we have done. Our embassy's been working on a 24/7 shift ever since we knew this thing was looming.
Right.
And we've had our own Thai staff coming in, despite their difficulties, working with us with great resilience. And I think many organizations here have the same going on.
So I understand that there are quite a few numbers of the British companies doing business in Thailand. So how do you talk with them, or have you say anything or trying to plan something to help Thailand?
All our conversations with British companies here for many, many months now, we've not just talked about this, but we've always said there's a good need to have business continuity plans in place, and these are coming into play now.
Right.
They really operate here as Thai businesses. They may have foreign ownership, but they're Thai businesses. If you look at the supermarket chain Tesco,
Yes.
Tesco Lotus.
they've joined the relief effort themselves. GSK, I went with them to Ayutthaya to deliver medicine.
Right.
So I wouldn't describe them as extraordinary in that sense. They have the same challenges that all other Thai companies do of looking after their employees and making their plans for the recovery.
Right. Now, one situation that's going on here in Thailand is I would say, lack of unity in terms of distributing donated goods to flood victims. Now, how do you, in England, how does the British government deal with this?
In the UK, whenever we had a situation where a civil contingency has been triggered, we've always tried to learn lessons, and that's the first message, which is that you're never going to get it right. Secondly, what you have here, as we do in the UK, is the tremendous goodwill of people. People are collecting things, they're sending things, but if you have a bag full of stuff, as we did when we went to Ayutthaya, you don't know what's inside that bag.
Right.
And you turn up and they open it and they're disappointed perhaps, or they say
that's what they want.
Yeah. It'd be better to coordinate by saying we need water, we need medicine, we need
food,
dried food, or we need whatever, baby goods, which becomes important. When you have that, then people know that this is what we're expecting, this is what we should direct.
Okay, earlier that also the message coming from the UK government that telling people not to come to Thailand, that Thailand is a risk area.
Especially Suvarnabhumi Airport at that time.
They thought that Dornmueang Airport was Suvarnabhumi Airport, but Suvarnabhumi is actually flood-free.
Sure. The British government has always got this message absolutely right. We said that do not travel into the Bangkok city. Suvarnabhumi is open, the resorts are working, and that is still the current status of our advice. And as soon as the situation changes, we will act accordingly.
I see.
Anything that you would like to say to the British residents or the British people, tourists that in Thailand?
First and foremost, follow the advice of the authorities. Check our website. And my advice to them is the same to the Thai people, which is to be safe, not to take risks, to be careful with water and waterborne diseases. I still see Thai children swimming in the dirty pools of water without really knowing what's in them.
Right.
If they take precautions, if they look after themselves and then look after the community, I'm sure we'll all come through this together.
All important, but you also have your Twitter as well. They can also follow your Twitter. Is Twitter at?
Well, it's Twitter at Asif A. Ahmed, but I would also direct my folk to UK and Thailand's website, which is where you'll get the real information.
Well, we appreciate you joining us today, His Excellency. ขอบคุณครับ
Coming up next, we have the flood projection. คุณดาริน Khong Angkara will be telling us what's going on in the flood. คุณดาริน เชิญค่ะ Darin, please.
Thank you, Rungtip and Superchon. Today we have survey for the situation of the flood condition in the north of Bangkok, and we saw that there is a lot of problem there, and the level of the water there is still going up. Dr. Seri, can you explain for us what is the situation of the flood in Bangkok now? Is it gonna be worse or not?
Yeah, I also worry about the flood situation because the big amount of water now in North Bangkok will attack Bangkok soon. I think within 7 days. Yeah, so we should be very cautious. Yeah, so I will show you on the drainage system for Bangkok. So yesterday we show on the eastern Bangkok. Now we want to show the western Bangkok. We have to realize that most of the flood volumes north of Bangkok, about 70% come to the west.
70%.
30% come to the east. That means the harsh situation is on the western side, not the eastern side.
We call it Phang Thonburi for Bangkok, right?
Yes. Now the flood waters is now coming to the Khong Mahasawat, we call here. Now all the area 100% flooded. Now from Khong Mahasawat it will go down to the Khong Phasicharan here. So within next 4 or 5 days it will full with the Khong Phasicharan, and then after that we go down again. Which is very important area is the industrial estates here for Samut Sakhon. We worry about this very much. So we have to tell them that next 10 days you have to prepare your protection system will be a very well-being condition.
For the industrial area around here in Samut Sakhon.
That's
will be in danger.
That's right.
And today we have research for the problem in the north of Bangkok too. Can you explain me about the situation for the Vipavadi Rangsit Road that maybe get worse?
We see this picture.
Next page,
picture,
please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we went this whole day to survey on the flood around the Vipavadi Rangsit. Okay.
Yes.
This is the Vipavadi Rangsit Road here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Air Force Base Don Mueang. Is already maybe here is about 100% flood already at the Don Mueang Airport. Okay. Now the flood water is temporarily stopped before the Laxi interchange. Okay. Now we call it's about Wat Laxi here. So along the Wat Laxi, we have the small canal here to drain the water from the which we call Khong Prem.
Yes.
Here. Most of the discharge from the upstream go along the Khong Prem here.
Yes.
So Khong Prem here also will take the water inside the Bangkok in the core city here. And next is the Khong Prem water level is higher than the Vipavadi water level. So it also flow down from this Khong. This also enter the Lat Phaos, Bangkok city also. Lat Phao Bang Khen. So the water level here it is about 10 centimeter increase per day. So we have left the void. The height is about 40 cent. That means it's next 4 days it will flood in the downstream here, and then after that it will go down to the Bang Khen interchange. So that means we would like to tell you on the Thai people and foreigner that this flood situation is not so severe, but it is about 10 to 50 centimeter. But let it pass, not stop it, because it will pass down the road.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Seri. So tomorrow we will continue to update you the situation for the flooding in Bangkok.
Thank you, Kundarin and Associate Professor Seri Supratit. And so we watch out for the water that's coming, but it's not going to be that high, 10 to 50 centimeters.
Okay,
not so
we're
bad.
still lucky enough. And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS English News Service. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. I'm Supachon Punsuwan.
I'm Rung Tip Chonapalai. Thank you for watching. สวัสดีค่ะ